Welcome to our webinar today. I'm Judy. First of all, I'd like to thank you for your time to join us today. I know for some of you probably it's quite early in the morning, and for some of you probably it's quite late in the night. Thank you so much. I know for most of you probably you know Kiloview products quite well as you are our long-term partners. But talking about Kiloview company, maybe you are not that familiar. So in today's webinar, I will introduce a little bit more about our company, about our philosophy, about our products and solutions, and also what we will do next. And of course, for the webinar today, our topic is anytime, anywhere for the live streaming. So I will talk everything about our P-series from the hardware side, from the software side, and also from the bonding server side. I have to say sorry, our hardware actually was ready for a long time, and you waited for a long time, but now I'm so glad to announce the bonding server is really ready. So if you have any questions about our P-series, about the bonding server, so please just drop your questions in question and answer window, and then our team members will answer all your questions. And even our president and also CTO Jacob is joining us to answer all your questions. So don't miss this chance to communicate with us. And the last part, in order to support, to thank you for your support to Kiloview, so we will have the giveaway contest. So please stay online with us and don't miss this chance to get the P2. Then first, let's just check about the history of Kiloview. Kiloview actually was established in 2011 in Changsha, China. And ever since our company was established, we are company just focus on IP-based video transmission solution because we believe IP is the future. And in 2014, we developed the first RTMP encoder in China. And based on that very successful encoder, in 2017, we also developed the world's first NDI-HX encoder together with NewTek. And ever since then, Kiloview developed full series of NDI products. And in 2018, we got our own NDI licensee. And that's actually among the first batch of the NDI vendors. In 2019, we joined SRT Alliance. So all Kiloview products can support SRT, including the encoders and the decoders. And of course, in 2020, we developed the first bidirectional 12G SDI and NDI converter, and that's also the first one on the market that can support the bidirectional conversion. And this year, we also launched a series of new products, including our N6, the U40, and also the U40 and everything like the S2. And now we are releasing the bonding server. So this is really a big year for us. And next month, we will also move to our new office. So why Kiloview can get so many firsts? First, it's because we are very strong in R&D. So Kiloview have employees in R&D for more than 40%. And also every year we invest over 17% of the annual revenue in R&D. And now Kiloview can cover more than 100 countries. So you can find all the Kiloview products locally in Europe, in US, in the Africa, and also Asia Pacific. So why Kiloview is so attractive? That's because Kiloview is a professional company. We provide those professional products and also solutions. And Kiloview is a very reliable company with reliable products. So when we chat with our customers, reliable always is the most often heard word about Kiloview. And also we provide very flexible solutions. We can support all the protocols, all the interfaces, and even if you have any customized requests, you can talk to Kiloview and we can always provide you a very best solution. And for considerates, of course, we have a very good support team. So they can always answer your requests and questions within 24 hours. And as a manufacturer, we design and develop the products by ourselves. And that's the reason we can provide the most affordable while reliable products. And also we emphasize intellectual properties. So we got more than 10 patents, more than 20 software copies. And Kiloview philosophy is any in, any out, and anywhere. So in this Kiloview media framework, you will see, so for any in, that means no matter what kind of inputs you have, either you got the 3G SDI or HDMI or 12G SDI from your cameras, or you already have the IP inputs with NDI or SRT, you can always find a solution in Kiloview product series, and then you can convert it to any output, either with NDI or SRT with the hardware encoder, or if you want to output SDI or HDMI, then you can find our hardware decoder. Or if you want to convert NDI to SRT or the other IP streams to different types of IP, then you can find our media gateway that can also support you doing that. And we also have a series of the software products or software functions that can support like recording, intercom, the IMS, and also all the other functions. So we can realize really any in and any out. And for anywhere, if with our IMS, you will be able to manage all the devices, all the resources centralizedly. And now with our P series that can also use 4G network, we can really realize anywhere. So then talking about the products Kiloview can provide. For NDI series, you know, NDI is now becoming more and more popular, and the Kiloview is the real pioneer in NDI industry. We are the only supplier that can provide both NDI and the NDI-HX solutions, both Ethernet one and the wireless one, and also both hardware solution and the software solution. So checking about the products, we have the N3, N30 with 3G SDI or 12G SDI inputs. We also have the N4 and the N40 with HD HDMI inputs or 4K HDMI inputs. And all those versions can support bi-directional conversion. So that means you can use either of the units to do the encoding, or you can also do the decoding. And also we can support the functions like tele, like PoE, and the PTZ control, and also intercom. And specifically, I will talk about U40. This is a very unique product that we designed. So the slogan of the U40 is to turn any camera into an NDI camera. So that means if you have a camera with HDMI output, then you can use the U40 to convert it to full NDI. At the same time, you can get the RTSP or RTMP from your camera, and we can convert it to NDI-HX. So you will get full NDI and NDI-HX at the same time, or you can even convert RTSP to SRT and all the other protocols. So we can say U40 is so multifunctional. And also, in order to support the camera powering, we can get the PoE input, and then we can have the DC output. So that means you can simply connect a network cable, and then the U40 will be able to power your camera and everything just through one single network. And that's the power of NDI. And of course, for NDI-HX series, we have the S2, that is a 4K HDMI H.265 encoder with NDI-HX. And of course, we have the H.264 series with NDI-HX. That is the N1, the N2 with the Wi-Fi, and the E1, NDI, E2, NDI with Ethernet. And we also have the series without NDI-HX. So you can check, we have the E1, E2, the G1, G2, that's with Wi-Fi, and the M2 with both HDMI and VGA inputs, and also the P1, P2, the 4G bonding encoder, that we will talk about it later for details. And for all Kiloview encoders, we can support all the protocols. That means we can support NDI-HX, we support SRT, and everything in the single unit. And we can do the live streaming up to 16 platforms. We can add 16 streams, 8 main streams, and 8 sub streams, all at the same time. And for overlay, we can add text or time or logo. And for recording, we support USB recording, TF card recording, and also even NAS recording. And we have, we have the FPGA processing unit, so we will be able to handle cropping, mirror, rotate, and everything just before streaming. So it's very unique and also very flexible to do all different kind of streaming. And of course, we have the H.264 and H.265 video decoders with both SDI and HDMI outputs. We have the DC230, we have the D300 that can support either H.264 or H.265. And even the D300 can support up to 9 channels decoding with 4K output. So we can not only provide those standalone units, the small boxes, but also we have those professional devices like the rack mount units. So here we can see we have 2 versions of the Cradle series and the frames. So we have the 1U design with up to 4 channel support, and then we have the 3U design that can support up to 16 channels, or even 32 channels if you have any specific requirements for high density. And all the frames have the redundant power supply, so it's really reliable. And of course, you can freely mix your own solution. That means you can choose SDI or HDMI encoder, either with NDI or without NDI, or you can choose the encoder with the decoder. So either SDI or HDMI outputs as well. So you can DIY your own solution. And of course, we have other solutions like the media gateway it's a decoder, but it's more than a decoder with the functions like protocol conversion. And also we have the MS2, MS4, the collaboration system, which can do the encoding and the decoding simultaneously with recording. So then talking about the software part, actually Kiloview is really strong in software. That's because our president actually is a very experienced software engineer. And you can see Kiloview can provide all those software solutions and the systems. We have the IMS that we talked previously, and we have the NDI cluster that can support the NDI resources switching without any limitation of the bandwidth. That means if you have a NDI source input and then you want to output to many destinations, then using our NDI cluster, you can freely do all those kind of switching. And for multi-view, I know most of you probably has tried the multi-view. It's free and also it's very powerful. Just for your information, we will also update the multi-view next month to support like the NDI recording and everything. Just stay tuned. And for intercom, as I talked, all Kiloview products can now support intercom. You can get the KIS server from Kiloview website, and you can freely talk to all Kiloview devices. And then let's get back to our topic today about streaming anytime, anywhere. So then let's take a look of our P series. We actually have two family members. One is the P1 with SDI inputs, and the other one is the T2 with HDMI inputs. Both of the units can support up to 1080p and H.264 encoding. And you know, when we design this product, our engineers just want to make it very unique. We want to design it very portable and also very compact. So you can see I'm holding it here, and it's very small and also light. And of course, if you want to take it out, it should be very robust. So from the material side, you can see it's made from aluminum alloy, and for the side panels, actually it's made from plastic. That's because we have the internal 4G antennas to keep them working normally. And also, you know, we want to design the units to be very compact, but we also want to support as many network connections as possible. So when we design it, we just try to support, you know, up to 5 network links. That is 2 internal 4G modems and also 2 USB 4G modems by the external ones. And together with the Wi-Fi, there will be 5 connections. Or alternatively, sometimes you need to use the Ethernet. So you can also use the USB to Ethernet adapter here, and then you can use 2 internal SIM cards, 1 USB, 1 Ethernet, and 1 Wi-Fi. And all of them can be bonded together. And also the P series can work as a hotspot. So if you want to connect your laptop to use the network, the P series can even work as a kind of bonding router. And previously we talked about recording. So here you can see there is a TF card slot. You can directly insert the TF card here, and you can do the live streaming at the same time recording, and the P can become a recorder. And also, as we are talking about live streaming anytime, anywhere, so power supply is always a big problem. So here, if you have the fixed power supply, of course, you can directly connect the P series with the DC 12 volts adapter. And but if you don't have the fixed power supply, then the P series has already included an internal battery, and that battery can support the live streaming for 3 to 5 hours, and actually sometimes even more. We have very good feedback. The capacity of the battery is up to 6,800 milliamp hour. So that's big enough. And of course, if the power level is low, then you can charge the P series with, for example, the power bank or even the V-mount battery. So you can see we can support the charge from 5 to 16 volts. And if you turn on the P series, then you can see there will be 4 LED indicators and showing the battery level. So it will be very convenient to help you understand your battery level. And here you can see there is a very small black button, and that's actually for the one press to start streaming. So normally you can configure everything, the parameters on your laptop, and then if you take the P series outside, then you just simply press and start the streaming. So maybe it can also help you saving the data. And there's a cooling fan even in this small unit. That's because considering about the environment, you know, sometimes if it's hot and it's working with full load, then probably you will become overheated. So in order to make sure the P series can working continuously and reliably, we have this cooling fan that is quiet enough and also powerful enough. And also you can see this very small unit can directly mount on the camera. So you can use these brackets and mount it top of the camera using the cold shoe. So it's really convenient. Then after finishing this hardware introduction, then let's take a look of the software parts. So for software parts, we actually can show you the UI of the P series. And for the P series, you know, if you are familiar with the Kiloview products, then probably you will understand, you know, you can check the UI and actually it's almost the same as all our other encoders. It's as powerful as all the other products. So you can simply add a stream here. You can choose the protocol you want to use, as we support all the different protocols. And also you can just do the live streaming, adding the mainstream and the substream, all 8 different platforms at the same time. But just for your information, here on the UI of the P series, adding the stream service is only workable for using the single network. So if you are connecting with Wi-Fi, or if you are only connecting with the Ethernet or one SIM card, then you can configure everything here. But if you have already used the bonding server, then for all the streaming service side, you can configure it on the bonding server, and I will show you a little bit later. And of course, for the functions we previously talked about the video processing, cropping, scaling, rotation, and everything, you can handle it here. And for recording, we can support TF card recording, USB recording, and even NAS recording. So you can add a NAS manager. And for the overlay, you can directly add overlay items like text or system time or image or everything here. And for voice intercom, as we mentioned, all Kiloview products can support voice intercom. So you can check here and you can directly talk to any of the devices. So if with the Kiloview intercom server, you can directly talk to the production side, or you can talk to the director without using any extra devices or any other the softwares. So it's very convenient. And also, even if you want to join the Kiloview intercom server, you can even use your mobile phone or your iPad to join the talks. And on the UI, you can also check the network service, and you can connect the Kilolink server, and you can check all the status of the Kilolink. So if it's connected, if it's using different networks, and also the data sending or receiving. And here you can enable or disable this bonding service, and also you can configure everything here. So you can also see here, there's a QR code. You can simply use your mobile phone and scan it, and you can manage the UI on your mobile phone to do all those kind of configurations. So it will be very convenient to do all those outdoor live streaming. So after finishing that, and probably you will ask, what would be Kilolink? And you will probably also be interested to check or understand the Kilolink. So then we will answer you, what is Kilolink? Actually, Kilolink is the power to connect all Kiloview devices. Kilolink is a special technology innovated by Kiloview, which is designed to optimize the media transmission. Kilolink supports any Kiloview devices by using any available network. That means for further Kilolink server versions, all the Kiloview products, and no matter you are using Ethernet or Wi-Fi or 4G, any of the network can be bonded. For example, our current G1 if you are holding the G1 and if you are connecting it with Ethernet and Wi-Fi, then you can make the G1 as a bonded device. But of course, currently with the Kilolink can only support the T series. And for the features of Kilolink, the significant feature of Kilolink is multi-link and also is very stable and secure. So we can see that's because Kilolink actually is based on RUDP transmission technology, or we call reliable UDP. So together with the Kiloview optimized algorithms such as precise congestion control and also the adaptive bit rate technology, using Kilolink, the performance is much better than any traditional TCP protocol. And also, we can use the multiple mobile network to expand the internet bandwidth. That means Kilolink can aggregate the bandwidth and also to maximize the bandwidth of any available network. And also, even in very poor network connection areas, we can accelerate the network. Also, with Kilolink, the mechanism of automatic bandwidth balance. If there is any connection that's got fluctuated, then Kilolink will balance the bandwidth automatically within 100 milliseconds to ensure a very reliable connection. So you can normally, you can even not realize any of the connection side. And also it is very secure, high security. With the TLS 1.3 encrypted transmission technology and together with AES 128 or AES 256 encryption technology, Kilolink can always make sure the data transmission is secured. And now it's also very easy to deploy. Previously, we understand, when we launch our beta testing, some of the customers probably are very, just feel that the deployment is a little bit complicated and they give us the suggestion. And now I can tell you with this formal version, the deployment is really easy. So you just need one command and the deployment will be finished. So as long as you have the Docker environment either on Linux or Windows or Mac system, then you just finish that very easily with one command. And also we can support either cloud-based server or on-premise server. So it's so easy. And the most important feature for the Kilolink is it's free. So you can just deploy the server by yourself and the Kiloview will not charge any of the cost. But of course, if you just want to connect and play, then probably you will find any third-party server providers, or you can talk to some of our partners and probably they will have some charges, but for Kiloview side, we will not charge any of the cost. So simply deploy the server and you will have those server with adaptive bit rates, excellent connectivity, and also ultra low latency. According to our test, the latency can be about 200 milliseconds to 600 milliseconds, but generally it's really, really low. That is the end-to-end connection. So that's almost all about the introduction about Kilolink. And then let's take a look of our user interface of the Kilolink server. So I will show you how the Kilolink server looks like. So here, that's the UI of the Kilolink server. So you can see here, there's a dashboard showing the online devices. So all the devices connected to the Kilolink server and is online, then you will show it here. And also at the corner, you can see the system status of the server, showing the CPU load and all the other information. And for device management, all the devices registered to the server will be listed here. So you can see there are a lot of the devices. And if you want to add a new device, then you can simply input the serial number here. And also you can name it, you can get authorization code. So normally we can generate the authorization code and you copy and paste in the P-Series web UI, and everything can be done on the UI and connected to the server. So it's very convenient, I can say. And also we have the other functions on the server that we can do port forwarding. So you can add a port forwarding. For example, if you want to get RTSP, then you can add the port here. And also we will have other functions, and we can show you more details later. And here we can check all the real-time status and also the statistics status. So here you can see this unit is using 2 networks, and you can see each network how many data is running. And also for statistics status, it will show the number of bytes and also the packet loss rates, etc. And the unique feature is that we can directly click here, and you can manage the product on the UI. Sorry, here is the Chinese one, and I would switch it to English version. So you can singly just manage the devices with 1 click. So it's really, really convenient. And of course, you can edit anything here. You can change the serial number or name or whatever here, and you will also you can click choose private. If you choose private, then it's only visible for yourself. So even the host manager will not be able to check all the contents from the streaming. And if you click any of the units here, oh, sorry, probably this one we will not show, but normally it should be showing the preview. And also you can add a stream here. You can just choose mainstream or substream, and also you can choose RTMP, RTSP, SRT, or UDP, choosing different stream protocols. So if you choose RTMP here, then you can directly enter your pushing address. So if you want to do the live streaming to YouTube, then you just input the address here. And of course, if you want to use SRT, then you can set the mode, the port, and all the other information here, and then it will go. So it will be very convenient using the Kilolink server. And also, I can say here the Kilolink is only in version 1, and with version 2, in the future, we will be able to support all the Kiloview devices. And also we will support all the devices using all the different networks. So it will be even more powerful. And after checking the bonding server, then sometimes the customers will ask if I want to receive the video with SDI or HDMI, then how should I do it? And actually, you know, as I mentioned, the P-Series is actually the same as all our other products. So you can simply choose our decoder, for example, the DC 230 or D300, and you can get the SDI or HDMI output directly. And of course, they can support all the different protocols. So probably you will ask, how can I get the Kilolink? So actually, I think our team member can share you the link, and you can download the deployment instructions and also the manuals, and then you can get the Linux Docker files directly. And if you have any questions, you can always let us know. Then talking about so many exciting points about the P series. I believe you must be very excited and also you want to buy the P series. So now is really the good timing because we launched a new campaign, the promotion campaign. So if you buy the P series, you will get a bag. So using this bag, you will be able to hold the P series together with the USB dongles and also the SIM cards, the TF card, the antennas, everything in the bag, and just carry and go for the live streaming. So it will be very convenient. So if you have any interest, please feel free to contact all Kiloview resellers and just get the inquiry from them. Then let's come to the questions and answer section. I know probably for you, you probably have quite a lot of the questions. Then I'll ask Nico to hand me all the questions and I will choose some of the most frequently asked questions and give the answers here. But of course, our team will continue to answer all your questions. So the question one, what about your H.265 version? And actually, H.265 version will need a different hardware support. So we will need to use a different hardware design. And that's already in our plan. And we will, we already have the S2 that can support H.265. So further, we will need to modify using a different hardware design. And also, further, we will launch the product. And once it's ready, we will let you know. And then, how does RTMP working on bonding server? I think previously I showed you on the bonding server, you can directly add a string and then you can just input the RTMP address and directly do the live streaming. And the next one, will the next model come out with touch screen and when? I can tell you, yes, that's already planned. But for when, I can tell you probably later this year or maybe early next year. But touch screen, or at least a screen showing all the information is already planned. And for all further Kiloview models, it's already in our roadmap. So just keep following us. And then question 4, can the P1 bonding encoder stream to my private RTMP server? Or do you recommend a dedicated decoder to hit the private RTMP server? So as I think this is quite technical, but I can tell definitely yes, with the RTMP server, then you can see we can do all those kind of port forwarding or those kind of functions. So if you can configure the server correctly, and you can directly stream from the bonding server to your RTMP server. And there is another question from our Chinese friends. Is there any Chinese versions? I think we will have the Chinese webinar next time, 中文频道, yes. 下一次我们会做中文的直播. And the question 6, when KiloLink will be available? I can tell you, I think it's almost ready. So if you can download the manual from our website, and then definitely you can get the KiloLink, and it's now working. And question 7, does it will be one-click installation after this webinar? Yes, it's already there. And are there any new questions? Yeah. Okay, then I will check. Oh, yes, there are other questions. How to read my bonding feed, 4G Series P for a broadcast TV with the decoder D300. From the D300 webpage, you can just add the string. For the for the server, I think on the server you will get also the IP address and all those information. So you can directly insert the IP address and then configure on the D300, and then directly you can get the stream. And for the next question is lifetime of the P2. Lifetime of the P2, how to say, as we developed the product for about 3 years, the hardware is ready for 3 years, at least it can last for many, many years. Because all Kiloview products, you know, when we design the units, we want to make it very reliable. For P-series, probably you will worry about the battery lifetime, but for the P-series itself, the lifetime can be very long, many, many years, of course, at least 6 or 8 years, there would be no problem because we launched all those encoders very long time ago, and normally we have very low failure rate. And the other question is, will the N1 and N2 be able to use Kiloview Link? Yes, that's what I mentioned previously, that with KiloLink, we can support all the Kiloview products. So you will need to wait until our KiloLink version 2, and then we can support all different models of Kiloview products, even including the N1 and N2. And the next, will the new units have 5G? Actually, that's a topic we discussed internally, and we definitely want to support 5G because 5G is coming. And probably we will have 2 different versions to use those networks like 4G or 5G. We will have the portable version. With the portable version like the P series, it will be using the 4G. Or if you want to use 5G, then probably you will need to use the USB, the 5G modems. Or further, we will also have the professional version. So for the professional version, then we can definitely support 5G. That will be maybe bigger size, that it will be more powerful with all the functions you previously mentioned be supported, and that's already also in our roadmap. So I think, any other questions? So if no other questions, or if you have any questions, you can just drop your questions on our question and answer window, and our team will still answer your questions here. And as you know, time is limited, so we will now end it here for the question and answer sections. And next, let's come to our exciting moments, the giveaway section. So for giveaway section, I want to play a little game with you. So please make sure you are opening the chatting window, and I will let you know the key for the contest. So if you get ready, and then I will announce the key, and we will choose the one who really type the key correctly, and the one that first type it correctly, and he will be the winner. So just make sure you're ready, and I will just let you know the key. The key is Kiloview is the best. So make sure you are typing it correctly and fastly. So I will leave this to Nico, and Nico will choose. She will be the person that identifies who will be the winner. So probably I think the winner is already there. So congratulations, and you are so lucky. And thank you for your support to Kiloview. So next, I think, you know, for those who didn't get the present, the P2, don't worry, you know, we will have more webinars in the future. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you. It's our first webinar, so thank you so much for your trust. This year is our 10th anniversary, so we will move to our new office next month, and further we will have more this kind of webinars and communications with all our friends. So you can join us at any time, and also you can follow us on our LinkedIn page or the Facebook page, or even you can join our user group on Facebook. So thank you for joining us today, and I think that's almost all for today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.